let's fast forward. You started getting it. Things were kind of rolling. What do you do in terms of like your schedule? I kind of want to break that down really quickly. Like, I'm a new agent, Marissa. I want to write as much as you. I want to do these things. What are you doing on a day to day from, let's just go through kind of like your day from wake up, like sun up to sundown. When you get into the office, just kind of walk an agent through who's looking at your numbers or looking at what you're doing and trying to copy your blueprint.
So honestly, my day to day, I feel like the most important part of my day is the beginning of the day, what I do for my mind. So at least an hour in the gym or at least an hour like I'm a girl, so Pilates sometimes, like just at least an hour of working out. That's something that I enjoy. But me, for my new agents, I would just say go on a walk, go on a run, do something that you enjoy for at least an hour. And then before I obviously a good breakfast on the way to work, driving here. Once I'm here, I have a notebook and I'll write down my goals every single day, manifest kind of, and I just kind of just write everything that I want to achieve for the day, something that I could work on and something that I'm grateful for. I feel like it just helps me stay grounded and kind of stay like level-headed. And then I set the goal for myself that no matter what, every single day, I'm gonna at least do minimum two before 2 o'clock. So two sales before two, and no one comes and talk. If someone comes to talk to me and I'm on the phone, like of course I'm gonna help them and answer a question. But there's absolutely no getting out of this chair, not even go to the bathroom. You are not leaving this chair until you have two before 2 p.m. every single day. So that's kind of the standard that I hold for myself. And then once I've hit two before two, then I'll get up, go grab lunch, come right back, work on some recruiting things, get right back onto the phones. And then typically I'm on the phone till minimum like 9 to 10 every single day. And then on Thursdays, or I'm sorry, Wednesdays and Fridays, like I'll do Hawaii and like late night dials. But my bare minimum, I'm always doing at least 10 to 12 hours a day on the phones, going home, at least kind of taking care of my body, resting, doing like something for myself, whether that's doom scrolling or doing something, just let myself go. For a new agent as well, I would recommend putting screen times on your social media because jumping back to a question you asked me earlier of how I was doing in the first 30 days, I was not doing good because I was also sitting there and not intentionally dialing. So I'm laser focused dialing when I'm here, no matter what. Not doom scrolling, not doing anything. And that was really getting in the way from me dialing, for especially in the beginning. So screen times, I still have them on my phone now. They're great.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's super crucial, especially for agents who are having trouble focusing. And I don't want anybody that's listening to miss the keys. You literally said, like, you're going to sit down, you're not going to move, you're not going to pee, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to sit in your seat and dial. And, like,
Yes.
if you just work the numbers, like, it will work out in your favor. And I think that you've understood that. I forgot to ask something, and I know it wasn't our lead, so I don't actually care. But when you were doing your first 30 days, 90, like what leads were you working? Because I don't even think we talked. I know we said veterans, but like were they fresh or you don't have to name the company, but were they
Age.
fresh or aged? Okay,
The
so
only the only high intent I've ever done ever was lead lab, but this was the first time I've ever done high intent. I've only ever done age, and I was ripping on age. Like I was ripping. So the fact that like I got sold to be on high intent was is crazy because my profit levels were unreal. But obviously, like I took that and doubled it this past month, which is great. But I was really nervous to take the risk on doing high intent leagues, period. I've only ever ripped age. So I was always like fighting tooth and nail with these people. I'm like, you sent in the request at some point. Like, come on. Like, come on.
yeah, yeah. No,
But
I think that's important for people to understand. Like doing age leads is a grind. It's good though because it builds you up. Which I would ask now as somebody that you've been doing the high intense for what, like now I guess this is going on a month too. So you're almost at a year. So basically your first 10 months, all you writ was age, right? And then you got into fresh leads. So I actually want to know because I don't know this. Have you seen any differences between for you talked about a little bit between like aged and fresh? Is it less dial time? Because I hear a lot of agents, and I know the answer, but I think it'd be good for them to hear. Like, well, I'm gonna buy fresh leads, and I'm just gonna like call them a little bit because I don't have to work them. Like, what is your thought process on working fresh leads? What have you seen? What are the biggest differences? What are some takeaways for an agent who's trying to decide, or is you a month and a half ago? What's that perspective that you could give them?
100%. So age leads for sure, like I was burning them. Like at the time I was scared to throw money into like any lead. I was just nervous. I didn't want to do
Uh-huh.
that. That was just something that made me uncomfortable. So when I bought a lead or bought something, like I was squeezing anything out of it possible, period.
Right.
So now too, when I'm on the high intense, I'm doing the same thing. It doesn't mean you're dialing less. It just honestly is helpful to get more like deals out on the day, in my personal opinion, because having that like just going up and down the list. Like now I have like a good amount of leads where I'm able to go back and forth. But when they were starting to trickle in the very beginning, like probably a month ago now, I was jumping from high intent to volume, high intent to volume. So I was still like having that good balance of age and high intent. That never made, just because I started paying more money for high intent, if anything, it made me work triple times harder because this is the most money I've ever thrown into leads. Like when I put in the amount of leads I do now, I'm like, me 2 months ago would be sick, like actually. So I now I'm like, this is an absolute non-negotiable that we're doing at least 20K a week. Like it's not happening. We have to. So I don't know, just setting non-negotiables and honestly putting myself in like an uncomfortable position has made me work harder. To answer your question, is I think that just because it is high intent doesn't mean you get to, they're not as easy. They're not. You definitely have to be like, you know, gotta know what you're talking about for sure. And you have to work them just as if you were working in H1, and you'll see good results if you do the same.
Got you. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I know the answer, but I want to hear from your perspective. Well, Marissa, if I'm gonna buy high intent, then why should I buy high? If I'm gonna start to work the same amount of hours, why do I buy? What's the purpose of me buying high intent then?
So me personally, like I have wanted to double what I've been doing. Age, you can only go so far. And a lot of the leads you're going through are disconnected numbers. They're not qualified. They're a shopper. Just like honestly, like going on high intent, it really helps eliminate a lot of those problems that I was falling into on leads. So yes, obviously, like okay, you could get a little bit more profitable on leads, but your time is your money. And I've honestly been able to get more closes and do my best month ever this past month. And I didn't do anything differently except start spending money on high intent leads, because I was also saving time because I was closing more. So it gets in front of like the disconnected number. Okay, we hang up. Now I'm on to the next. Like now I'm on a high intent where that's not really happening to me almost ever. And because of that, like I'm already could be possibly in a presentation with somebody else. Just so it's definitely saves time. And again, your time is your money.
Right. No, 100%. And now we're going to segue into a great transition because I think this is dope. So first of all, let's start at high, let's go low, and let's come back. So
Okay.
you said that you wrote a lot. Can you give the people that are listening, how much did you write in your first full month of running the high intense with us?
Okay, so my numbers didn't come out yet, but I know I did it. I did 50K submitted business, which is my best month ever. And I also did just want to add off OTPs only, which never this just never happened to me before. I did a 34K week. So that was this past month, and that was my first whole month on the lead labs. I don't know why I'm saying age, but yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.